इतना सा फर्क है कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में। इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में ये अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Hello and good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on this webinar called Business Opportunity Over Chai. Business Opportunity Over Chai is a webinar series presented by the management of Franchise India every day at 12 o'clock in the afternoon with an aim to introduce you to a new business opportunity. Over the last 27 years, Franchise India has helped thousands of investors in selecting the right franchise business for them. In today's webinar, we are happy to introduce you a brand born from love for traditional Indian food called Begums. Begums started back in 2013 in Muscat, Oman, by 3 grandchildren inspired by their grandmother's cooking. Begum serves rich and flavorful Mughlai dishes like biryani, kebab, and curries. From one small outlet, the brand has grown into a leading Indian restaurant brand in Oman with 5 outlets offering Indian street food, desi Chinese, grills, and many more. Today, the brand has an aggressive expansion plan in Indian market, bringing the same royal Indian flavors to most people through their franchise. To talk more about this, I'm joined with Amit and Shaheen, both the co-founders of this brand, along with my colleague Deepak Rehna, he's the general manager sales, sitting here in franchise in the office. We have Ipshita, she is the consultant from Francop, and we have Soham Bhargav, she is the key account manager for this brand. Now, before we start and talk more about the brand and the business opportunity, I would like to inform all the viewers that you, of course, you are also allowed to ask questions related to the brand or the business. In case if you will have any questions related to the brand or the business, you can put all those queries into the Q&A box. If you have joined through the mobile, you will get 2 options, chat and the Q&A. My request is to please use the Q&A box to to ask you all your queries. And we, of course, will come back with all the answers once the presentation is over. Yep. So that's how we are, starting it now. I would now request, Amit and Shaheen, in case if you can take the lead and let's talk about the brand. Let's start with your personal introduction and then we'll move on to the presentation. Over to you.
Hi, I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Thank you so much for introducing us, and it's a pleasure to be here. I'll quickly introduce myself. My name is Shaheen Biran. Shaheen Biran is a co-founder of the restaurant, and she's also part of the family as she's my younger sister-in-law. So, quickly to take you through my journey and what we have learned through this process, we we essentially are foodies. We love eating out and trying different cuisines. Having been in Oman for last 27 years, when we came in, Oman hardly had any good Indian places to go out and eat to. Uh, there was a couple of ones. They were either too, you can say at a lower end of the spectrum, or there were a few which were at just fine dining level. So for us, the journey started with searching for ourselves a place to go to, eat a wholesome food, and come back home with memories. Because anybody who is listening and wants to be on a food journey, I think the beginning starts with loving to eat, to recognizing what you are going to, which place you're visiting, and building memories at those places. That's where our journey with food began. Uh, I I am essentially a good, let's say, a taster. I wouldn't say that I can cook that well, but my wife Yasmin, who's also a co-founder, and my elder sister-in-law Parveen, they are a family of chefs, homegrown, learned everything from generations, and that's what we were eating at home and searching when we went out. And that search outside our home was incomplete. And whenever we got friends over, we were, essentially serving them home cooked like food. And they would say, "Oh, wow, can't we get this somewhere outside? Why don't you go commercial?" And we would always laugh it off as a friendly discussion, a banter over a dining table. Uh, but that definitely lit a spark. We always, then when we would say, "Wow, why didn't we go commercial?" However, we were like many of you, but doing different things in our lives. I'm an engineer by education and a master's in business administration. So I was working full time jobs. I was working in a car dealership. I was looking at as the head of marketing, and my day was full. So was my wife. She's an investment professional. Shaheen is an asset manager. My elder sister-in-law runs a travel agency. But that spark was still there. How to do something, where to get in, to start. And since the desire was there, we found a nice small place in a honestly in a very obscure location behind a building which was up for sale. And we thought, this place looks nice. How do we begin? So the first search came through was, what do we call if we get this place? What do we call it? We went through many names. In fact, thought about calling it Salman's, because we thought it's going to be a very cool name to call it. But then what stuck with us was that all the recipes that our family is used to, they had learned from their grandmother, and her name was Khurshid Begum. She would use, whatever was left in the kitchen overnight, and next day turn into something really exceptional. And even what she cooked regularly was something that all of them cherished. There were no written down recipes, but they had all memorized it by practicing over it again and again and again. So we thought it was absolutely apt to call it Begums in memory of her and the recipes that she shared through the generations. And that's how our journey of Begums began, from a very small place, just having 7 tables with 6 staff and no knowledge whatsoever of previously having ever seen a kitchen or run a restaurant. That's the beginning of Begums. Shaheen, would you like to add something?
You need to unmute it. Yeah.
Yes, so good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, good afternoon, the place that you are. My name is Shaheen Biran, and I'm one of the co-founders of our restaurant Begums. It's as what Amit has said, it's been a very important journey in our lives. But when we look back at what we've created, it is currently a company that we run of. So we started with 7 tables and with 7 employees. Currently, we have about 150 employees that we have across our branches. And when we do look at the legacy that we've created, we do take a lot of pride in the organization and the legacy that we have actually created. So, bit by bit, we have built this legacy and hope that we are able to share with our investors the same kind of legacy that we have managed to create and to move this forward. Over to you, Amit.
All right. Meanwhile, I can see there is a, if you look into the Q&A box, I can see one of the fan has written that he was in Muscat. Mr. Eastwood has written that I was in Muscat for 2 years and the Begum was my favorite restaurant. My daughter still remembers the biryani. Oh, that's great. We can't hear you. I mean, I think you probably are away from mobile or the headset that you're using. Shine, Shine, we can't hear.
Yes. So, Mr. Ishwar, thank you so much for that bit of encouragement. And yes, we managed to keep this kind of quality, this kind of memory. We are over a decade now, 13 years old, but we do have a generation of very young foodies that have grown up in Muscat, and they carry this memory, and we are very happy to be a part of this memory. It brings us immense pride to be a part of that memory, to be a part of that childhood. And we try very hard to keep our quality high and to see that we do not ever, disappoint our guest. And to meet that expectation is very, very tough, but we have 100% effort in doing so. So thank you, Mr. Ishwar.
Bharat, I would like to add something here.
Sorry, you both will have to
You
sit
know,
a bit, make some distance.
louder.
No, louder is okay. I mean, because there is some lots of echoing, right? Because you and Shaheen both are sitting nearby, right? So you'll have to make it.
There is an echo. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it clear now?
It is clear now.
Okay, great. All right. So, interestingly, when we started this journey, Bharat, we want like this is for everybody who, we dream of those who dream of making something or creating something that you want to be an owner of a legacy. It always starts small, but there has to be a passion to do what you want really to achieve in food business. We are 12 years old or 12 years young, as what we say. But there has never been a day if I'm in Oman and I'm not at my restaurant. It cannot run on its own. The passion to run a food business has to come within. To make it a successful one, you have to connect with your guests, you have to connect with your team. And we have been able to build this only purely by focusing on the minutest of things that come our way. You know, just to give you a quick how important it is for us is that uh, we've not had a great together family holiday for 10 years. The first family holiday we took together as all of us as a family, was last year. That's the kind of commitment. I'm not trying to scare people away, but what I'm trying to tell is that no business can be built if you're not, especially food business, if you're not really passionate about it. We started with 7 tables, and the love of the customers and the sheer focus that we had on quality. We've been able to grow this into now a business with, I would say, let's talk about numbers of staff. We were seven, we are now 150. Uh, that's the sheer size of the business that we run. We are like uh, almost like a middle, you can say, enterprise. We run 5 kitchens with now almost, you can say, 8 brands, 5 of them in Cloud Kitchen, which we launched recently. But Begums is our mother brand, the one that has helped us to establish all other brands around us. We started in 2013 in Alquare. Uh, we moved to another location in 2014. Uh, and then we took a while, and then we opened up the third location in 2018. And since then, we have been growing. Like we kept moving back and forth, increasing spaces in the existing restaurants. And that all that growth was just fueled by the pure love of our customers and our urge to continue to serve them. And today, as we heard from Shaheen, we have guests who were like small kids. Now they've finished their colleges and they come back. They come back to Muscat. They get down at the airport, and the first stop is Begums. They pick up a biryani before they end. So that's the kind of love that we have from our customers, and that makes us grow even more as we sit today. We want to grow this business to take it out of Oman and bring it closer to people in India.
Ipshita, let's move on to the next slide.
So here, as you see, what we were doing essentially when we started, our menu was very, very small, and we have endeavored to keep it as small. Uh, Mainly, it helps in standardization. Uh, it helps in definitely a lot of cost control. It helps in ensuring that our quality is controlled. It also helps in customers being able to come and order, regularly the food that they love. So this is essentially what we do. Biryanis are the most authentic biryanis uh, that you would get in anywhere else, maybe even in India, if I'm not. The closest that I have eaten a biryani as good as this is in Mumbai at Jaffa Bhai's. We use the most flavorable rice, top quality ingredients, and we create this authentic dum biryani, which is really slow cooked over charcoal. Takes 3.5 to 4 hours to really cook before we open up the lids, and it's also made in limited quantities. A deg is made depending on, of course, we have learned through the use of data, which is also essential for anybody who's coming into the business, that they start thinking how they will use the data. Based on our data, we create the portion sizes and we offer it on a regular basis. Weekends, we create more. Weekdays is less. Holidays is more. So we've arrived at a number of portions that we make. Also, uh, being a Punjabi, hardcore, I wanted in the menu a really superb dal makhani that beats all the other dal makhnis I ever had in Delhi. And we managed to create one. That's also one of our really, really popular dishes is butter chicken. It's quite different from the ones that we get in northern parts of India. It's a little more twist to the way we do it, and it's loved by all. Our desserts are completely homegrown. These are recipes, mind you, for biryani. Each and every biryani is unique, and the recipes are from my wife's grandmother. They still use the same masalas that she was using is being used in our kitchen right now. And all the masalas that we use in our commercial kitchen, we use them at our home. So if there is ever any change from the raw material supplier, we are the first one to get to know that. So that's how deep we are into quality control. That the same ingredients that we use in our commercial kitchen are used at our home, or rather the other way, the ones that we use our home are used in the commercial kitchen. Ikshita, you want to move to the next slide? Uh, yeah, this is my eldest sister-in-law, Parveen. She's an exceptional biryani chef, mind you. There is not a biryani better than hers that I've ever eaten. Uh, and she's also very, very involved in sourcing of raw materials. She herself is a regular visitor to the market. She chooses the masalas. She chooses the cut of the mutton. She chooses the size of the chicken that goes in. That's how driven she is. And we have another gentleman, a very, very important part of our journey, and we would not have been here if not for Khalid. Khalid has been a brother. He's an Omani national. He works with the Ministry of Heritage and Culture. He's a super busy gentleman, very familiar with Delhi and Bombay and the bylanes of, mind you, Jama Masjid. He can take you to more places in Jama Masjid than you would have thought that you can go and eat Mughlai food. That uh, hardcore he is. He brings in the local sense of culture, how to little bit temper with spices when it comes to, certain dishes which the local nationals love. So he's been very instrumental in guiding us how to adapt to the local culture, how to make ourselves more acceptable within the local culture. What you see here is how the market size is. I think, Ikshita, uh, this is more how the Indian market is working right now.
Yes, you are right, Amit.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's what we are projecting over here, that
yeah,
India food services market
yeah,
structure, whereby we can see that there is an unorganized segment, which
yeah,
is more over there, and the organized segment. And the
yeah,
organized segment, we can see that food service industry is having standalone restaurants and food chain segments. And both the things we can move ahead with uh,
yeah.
Begums.
So,
So
yeah,
we,
Akshita, yeah,
yes.
yeah. No,
So
thank you for bringing it up, Akshita, because here, as you see, we started as a casual dining restaurant, and our journey took us to a QSR format that we run in one of the largest malls in Oman. It's called the Mall of Oman, and we have a fairly large outlet over here, which we've been running for 4 years now. It's called Yalla Begums, and we do typical Indian style street food along with combo meals over there. And we're also now into cloud kitchens, essentially making sure that our kitchens are more efficient by adding more brands which are purely on the cloud. So we use our resources in a manner that gives out the best efficiency and productivity for the employees.
definitely, Amit. And what we
Yeah.
can also read from the market trends that we have noticed while research, that the demographic shift is from 43 to 80, 43.82% to the population, where 24 years aged people are there who
Yeah.
are gearing up the demand for quick foods, right?
Yeah.
Easy and
Yeah.
quick up foods
Yeah.
available. Apart from that, there is a working population, which is the professional populations is between 25 to 54 years. They again look out for easy food options. And increasing urbanization, which has been increased from 2020, and that when it was 35% to 2025 when it became 42.5%. So there is a scope for our Begums always with the CAGR of 8.1% from 2024 to 2028, whereby the Indian food service industry has projected a growth. So we are looking forward to an acceptance and a great demand for Begums.
And just to
And-
add to, yeah, go ahead. This is
Yes.
amazing, the data, 83 million orders.
Thanks.
Yes, 1 minute, 1 minute.
So if we look at the Indian food market, whereby the biryanis and the Mughlai cuisines. So as of 2024, we can see that biryanis are 83 million orders in 2024 been booked over the food aggregators as well as the demand over there. And biryani itself has been the #1 most ordered dish on food applications for 9 consecutive years. So we can forecast what we are moving ahead to. And
Absolutely.
major cities being the Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Chennai. So, and Mughlai cuisine, we can say that key in casual and fine dining, whereby popular dishes being kebabs, kormas, and biryani again, with strong regional presence over Delhi, Lucknow, Hyderabad. So we can see that not it's bifurcated into south or not, but prevalent over India, the Mughlai food as well as the biryani. And I believe, Amit, this is something you can move ahead with.
Okay, so Ipshita, I believe Amit has just got logged out.
Right.
But we are looking forward, we are looking ahead to expanding on to the Indian markets into both kind of formats, which would be a standalone restaurant or a food court, which we would definitely look at these kind of options. You would have the reason that we would be looking at a franchisee operations is the user experience, the ROI generation, the loyalty creation, and what is stated here, which is a higher margin. Amit, would you like to take over from here?
Yes. So you're putting up a point, Shaheen.
The
Why
proposed business model. Yes.
Yeah. And why are we looking at this kind of a model, right? Efficient. Because we feel that this way we will be able to go deeper into the market. We'll be able to have a wider offering as well, and we can look at both the options to grow deeper into the markets. That's our idea of coming in.
Also, I would like to add as to what the data which Ipshita had shared earlier. You're looking at a higher rate of urbanization that is going to really happen into our cities. Urbanization has increased, has galloped into the past years, and we are looking at the trend really picking up. Also, accessible, of course, a working population, more and more, the population is growing. You have more and more women leading the working population, and the trend of eating out is just going to boom in the coming years. It's also because it's more convenient. And as per Mughlai food, with our experience in the Oman market, we do believe that it is really, really growing. We are not just talking about the Indian customers or the Indian clients, the diaspora that we have. We also, with our experience, the diaspora, the Omani, the local diaspora is equivalent passionate about the Indian cuisine. We have in the cooler months, we have a lot of foreign tourists who just come into Oman, and they just love Indian food. So where this space is, we only see a good growth going forward as more and more popularity kind of brings in. We've got the biryanis, which is very, very convenient and a very, very popular food. So going forward, we see this shift really build strong.
Shine, adding to what you just said, I had this thought, Bharat, is that we always feel isn't the space too crowded for whatever business that we try to get into, whether food, education, hotels, etc. we always, we have that first hesitation to feel that, is this place too crowded? Uh, well, the answer to that is that it's never going to be less crowded. If today it is crowded, tomorrow it's definitely going to be more crowded. So there is no better time than to do it now or to do it today. Because if you are confident of what you are offering in the market is unique in terms of flavors, aroma, quality, or the pure customer experience, you will be able to actually capture people's heart and their souls through good food. And there will be always space for more people to come in.
So here, what we are looking forward to is
So
for
here, Shita, right. So we are looking at both a single unit franchisee and we're also not looking at a crazy growth trajectory at the moment. Along with franchisee India, what we've thought about is that we want to focus on building the relationship with our franchisees. We want to handhold with a few number of franchisees so that the brand can really have a great foundation before we start building upon it. And that what so what's the benefit of that? One, all our energies would be focused on fewer people rather than just mindlessly growing into X plus exponential units. That will give us the franchisees time to learn and to grow together, accept what is there within the market, and fine tune ourselves. So that's why we are looking at a less number of franchisees, going with the single unit franchisees, and not crowding the market space around that area so that the franchisee gets enough space to grow. This is a typical proposal of a franchisee owned, franchisee operated unit. That's how we propose to enter the market at this particular moment. FOFO is the route that we want to take. We're offering both the options to franchisee aspirants. One, of course, is the standalone restaurant, and the other a QSR. It could be in a food court, or even it could be in a busy footfall place. Could be an office complex, could be a market. So both the options are we will looking at. Essentially, requires a minimum size area of 1,500 square feet for a restaurant. Why? Because that would give at least a 50 seating capacity, which is required to get a reasonable return on the investment. And same as the case with the food court, we are looking at a minimum size of a 500 square feet because the way we want to do it is slightly different. Rather than putting up Bain Marys and giving pre-cooked food, we largely believe in doing a bit of live cooking there within the food court area that enhances the flavors and the quality of food both, which actually draws in more customers and which we are actually practicing for last 4 years in Oman. So if you essentially we're looking at, on almost less than 2 years to 2 years payback period in both standalone and QSR formats, which is a very, very, uh, what do you say, attractive investment scenario. Very important. Who are we looking to tie up with? What is an ideal partner for us? Besides what's there on the slide, as I said, the first point, we're looking at people who really love food, who are exceptionally passionate about sharing that passion of food with their guests, with their customers. That's really, really primarily important to be loving the industry that you're getting into. Of course, we're looking at entrepreneurs who are younger and have got that kind of time and energy to contribute to the business unit. Uh, if people have the experience in QSR and F&B industry, superb. Uh, Not that I or Shaheen had any. We started as absolutely raw from outside. I was selling automobiles. Shaheen buys and sells stocks. So No, we had never sold a bread or a biryani or a kebab before in our life, but we are doing it now successfully. Why are we looking at somebody now like this? We're just trying to make life easier for both of us. I mean, that's an honest answer to that. But however, that's not a something that we can't work out with. If there was somebody who's new, who's just passionate about food, you're welcome to join the bandwagon. Uh, yes, very important. Why we want route? Why we are going for the franchisee route is we want somebody. Why can't we do it on our own? We are Indians. I am from Delhi. My wife's side is from Mumbai. We can't do it on our own. We're looking at people who have more local market knowledge. Let's say today I'm in, in a location like Delhi. Delhi itself is into many tiers. It's not just a tier one city. Delhi has many parts to it. Mumbai has many parts to it. Bangalore has many parts to it. And we would need partners who have that local knowledge, who have that local connections, who have that kind of a network to bring in their first set of customers, create that word of mouth. Uh, yes, we're looking at people who will be full-time business owners. We're not looking at somebody who's coming in as a part-time, oh, I will do this, on my side. No. We want somebody who's committing 100% of the time for this particular venture. Uh, for what do we bring in? We are these are the obligations that are more technical and legal that we're looking at, which is for any industries to follow the brand guidelines, to go with the product offering that we've got. Basically, clean accounting is very essential. One of the key reasons many restaurants and QSR operators don't make it big is that they are unable to manage their cash flows, or they don't have a very tight control onto their account books. Uh, that's our rollout plan. Not many areas that we want to go in, and we're looking at Ipshita, just 4 to 5 outlets across India at the moment. Yeah.
Yes, so these are the locations, the primary locations that we look forward to. However,
Yeah.
if there are other locations, we can definitely consider those
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, we can, but these are what we have earmarked ourselves for. We
Yes.
feel that we can serve these locations better with our reach. However, I mean, today, the way India is building up their network, cities closer to Delhi or Mumbai, let's say Pune, or even closer to Bangalore, like Mysore, or closer to Chennai like Pondicherry, we're absolutely open to, because they are as easily reachable as these big cities. That's our partner support, what we're looking at in terms of what we will bring into the table. The yeah, the marketing, the operational aspect, the standardization, brand guidelines that we have built over the period of time. We would like to handhold our franchisees and bring them at par with what we are doing over here. Uh, that's from us. We are glad that we are now being handheld by Franchisee India to handhold you to take our brand forward.
Great. Keep it like this, Ipshita, right? It's okay, fine. So thank you so much, Amit and Shaheen, for a very good presentation about the brand that you have now. It is indeed seems to be a very promising brand. As I told you that, as we already discussed, that we really have a huge opportunity in the Indian market, right? If you will look into the data that we already discussed, that biryani is the most ordered dish in India for the ninth consecutive years, right? That is massive. And in 2024, the India saw over 83 million biryani orders. with averaging like 158 orders per minute, right? That is huge,
Yeah.
right?
Biryani is the pizza of India, I think now.
And yeah, of course. I mean, and cities like Hyderabad, Delhi,
Yeah.
Lucknow, Bangalore, Chennai. I mean, these cities have seen a drastic improvement in terms of biryani consumption, and people are now liking a lot.
Yeah.
We don't have that much of brand to cater that many, the food eaters, the biryani
Yeah.
lovers,
Yeah.
right? So we really have very less number of good biryani houses
Yeah. Yeah.
which can provide them
Yeah.
a quality biryani type, right?
So,
So of course, I mean, when you will come, when you now are in India, then obviously, the food love, the biryani lovers would definitely have a different set of cuisine with a different taste, right? So yes, we have lots of questions in
The,
the.
yeah, I can see a lot of questions in the Q&A answer, in fact, and interesting ones. So let's pick them up and get the answer from Amit if he can answer these
sure.
questions quick. So the first question we have is that how many outlets you have at present? Well, we do got the answer from you that we are currently running 5 in the Oman, but are there any more in pipeline or anything you would like to add on it?
In Oman, we have 5 outlets. In Muscat area itself, and I think we have covered most of the territory in Muscat. And that's the whole reason of now trying to branch out into the other territories, other geographies outside the borders of Oman. So we want to move out and establish ourselves in other territories now.
Amit, like we also have our channel partners from the Southeast Asia countries like Sri Lanka or the Nepal or the other
Yes.
countries. So would you be also be open for those countries?
Bharat, as we speak, we're absolutely open to anywhere where we find a suitable franchisee operator
Mm-hmm.
who has the right mindset and has a greater idea of the local market, be it Nepal, Sri Lanka, or uh, Thailand, Malaysia. See, we are essentially part of the Silk Route, right? How we've been able to sell Indian food outside India in Oman and make a name for ourselves is share on the basis of one aspect that we right starting from up from Uzbekistan, right down to Cambodia, Thailand. There's so many things that are similar, and one of them, the common thing, is rice, right? The
Mm-hmm.
other thing is the grills, spices. I mean, these are commonly shared, maybe in different quantities or methodologies, but we share it. I mean, Oman, cardamom is massively used. So is star anise. So is the black pepper, cinnamon. These are so many things that are being shared. The Turkish kebabs, they're so similar to something that we are doing. So the cuisine is an Indian cuisine now is acceptable across the globe. It wasn't considered a global cuisine, but as we stand today, Indian cuisine is a global cuisine. So yeah, we are open, absolutely open, and excited to be anywhere.
Okay, Deepak, if we can move on to the next questions, please.
Well, the next question here is that how do you compare yourself with Kareem's? That's the question asked by Monica.
How do we?
How do
Uh,
you compare yourself with Kareem's?
okay, now that's a very subjective question, and I would only say that see, Mughlai places, Kareem is a Mughlai place. Okay. How would I differentiate myself from that is just by flavors. I mean, there's no other way that I can differentiate myself with them except, apples to apple. When you eat biryani that Begum serve or the butter chicken that we serve vis-a-vis what another Mughlai restaurant serve, that's the uniqueness that every Mughlai restaurant brings in. is their own unique flavors.
Well, absolutely. Every brand has their own USP, so
Yes,
we can make the exact difference only once we taste both the
yes,
products and can
yes,
understand
yes.
the difference. Well, the second question is from Mr. Ramesh, and he's saying positioning as an Omani brand of Indian food may not work in India. There may be dissonance there. And what are your thoughts on it?
We are uh okay, now interesting. We are born in Oman. We serve Mughlai food. We are called Begums, and we serve biryani, curries, and kebabs. So we're not selling Omani food. We're selling Indian food. So I don't see a reason to have any dissonance. In fact, what we will bring in is far stricter quality controls that we have learned over here, far stricter controls on choice of raw materials, which is available. So we have a better HSC factor, we have a better quality control factor, and we have a more disciplined operations because of the rules and the regulations that we were thrown into to learn it. So we will bring in a much better setup than what is already available in India through our learning over here. The working environment, the regulatory environment is far more stricter than in India. So
And
we
Mr. Abhishek,
already have a much evolved setup than many of the other players in India.
I believe that answers the questions of Mr. Ramesh. And we have another question from Mr. Abhishek here, who is asking that overall project cost on 1,500 square feet area and the working capital required. What will the estimate for this project on a standalone restaurant?
Uh, I
Ipshita
think,
is going to share that screen.
yeah. So here you have your answer. We're looking at 1.1, approximately a CR for the standalone, and we're looking at approximately 70 lakhs on the QSR setup. Right, Ipshita?
So the
So
total
what I
investment,
would say
yeah.
the question here is for the working capital, I believe.
Okay, just the
Exactly.
working capital. Okay.
Right. So 1,500 square feet area that comes to the that comes under the standalone restaurant. That's of 15 square feet area. And if I see for the working capital, it shows that it's total of 26,16,795, which includes rental deposit at actuals of 11,25,000, raw materials for a month's, that's coming to 5 lakhs. Liquor charges aren't there considered because we are not serving that over the restaurant, and operational expenses for the first month coming to 9,91,795. So that completely sums up to 26,16,795.
Well, I believe that answers the questions. If anybody else has similar kind of questions or doubts, I have left my number. You can reach out directly to me for any such questions or queries. I will be more than happy to help you with all your questions and answers, one-on-one, on one-on-one basis, so that we can connect together and can have a better understanding on the brand. Well, we have one more question here from Akash, who's saying, are there any Oman specific items in your menu, or say a biryani with an Omani twist as an USP for Indian customers?
Uh, the specific biryani that we have over here, which we created, is the mutton boti biryani, which is with an Omani twist. We use some of the flavors which are Omani. Uh, However, being an essentially Mughlai restaurant, we started this place because we couldn't find an authentic Indian place, and that's how it is. So the true DNA of our restaurant is authentic Indian Mughlai. However, if who's the gentleman asking this? Sorry, I didn't get the name.
Akash.
Akash. Akash. However, if you want to do something on the Arabic side, get in touch with Deepak, and we will link up. and we'll do something really specific, just pure Arabic cuisine. We can do that. We've been doing it as catering, but we don't do it in the restaurant. But we have
Amit,
a catering
I would
division.
like to add to Akash's point. So,
Yes, please.
Akash, bringing in the local flavors is an extremely important point, and you picked that up rightly. So, what we've realized is that in being in Oman, the Omanis also love fish. So, if there is any kind of fish or prawns, we cater a lot to that. So, in our menu, we've got a prawn tikka biryani, we've got a fish tikka biryani, we've got the curries, and we've also got the prawn tikka, which is a grill, and a fish tikka, which is a grill. So we focus on that. They definitely love fish. We also have something, as Amit said, we have they also prefer something which is boneless. So they love a mutton boti biryani, a chicken tikka biryani is a very big hit here. Also, they have some of them prefer a less spicier profile. We've got a malai tikka biryani for that. So yes, we do customize our offerings, and this is what we offer in terms of the local flavors.
So, Amit, I have a question here. As
Please.
quality is going to play an important and a crucial part, because quality is what is actually going to make a difference. So, how are we going to control that quality? You being in Oman and the restaurants running in India, how are we going to keep that check?
So essentially, Deepak, all our sourcing of materials from India, from Mumbai, or wherever different parts that we are sourcing this from. So we have a tight control on our supply chain. We're going to use the same supply chain within India. That's one. Two, when we set this up, we will come in with our team. We will set up the process of the sourcing. We'll set up the process of using them. We'll set up the process of customizing them, hand holding with the team to ensure that for pre-opening, opening, and post-opening, we spend a good amount of 60 to 90 days with a core team who has been working with me from the day we started our business. So my head chef has been with me from day one. My head of operations has been with me day one. My tandoor chef who comes in has been with me day one. So all of us have grown together in this business, and we understand the supply chain, the use of masalas, and also if there is any change in a supply, we are able to work around that through the sheer learning that we have. And that's what we would do when we come in, because parameters would change. We understand that. Supply chain would have to be slightly tweaked. We understand that. And that's what we've been doing all this while. So that's the expertise that we'll bring in with us.
Great. And do we have any specific menu for Indian consumers which we have prepared now, or are we still working on it? What kind of
So the
menu we are going to?
basic core menu. So what our thought process is that a core menu would be same. We'd have few dishes which are authentically Begums dishes that would form the core menu. However, we'll work around for the specific area. I mean, we are going the franchisee route, but at the same way, we are flexible enough to understand that I can't have a cookie cut everywhere. No, we don't want to be that brand either. So if there's something that is more preferable in Hyderabad on a menu, we would have that. If there's something more preferable on a menu in Bangalore, we do that, but keeping the core thing intact. We do it right now also in Oman, by the way. There's something which is very specific to people who want to eat at Alquer is there, but that's the same thing doesn't go well in Alkud. We don't have it within a city. I mean, that's the choice a consumer demands today. That I don't want to go that far, but can you give me this thing over here? Yes, we will. As long as it is in the realm of Indian Mughlai, we will.
So we are open for customizable menu, keeping
Yes,
the
absolutely. Absolutely. We're doing it
right.
already. And I think that's the way a brand should be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I believe all the questions has been answered by you, whatever we had right now. And as I earlier said, if anybody has any more questions, please reach out to me directly. We will be more than happy to connect one-on-one. And if it's required, we will ask Amit sir and Shine ma'am to come along and answer our
Definitely.
questions. Yeah. So if
Definitely.
anybody has any questions, please reach out directly to me. Bharat, over to you.
Thank you, Deepak, for helping me drive this webinar. Yeah, as Deepak said it, that in case if anyone would like to get in touch with us, I mean, the first is the screen. On the screen, you can see the contact details 9717683838, or you can also write to us at feedback@franchisehunter.in. But in case if you really want us to connect with immediately after this call, I mean, after this webinar, which is live right now, you can immediately connect with Deepak. Deepak has already shared his number 9220814343. Deepak, once again, if you could put your number there in the chat box, right? So that's how we can connect and can have a detailed discussion about the brand and the opportunity. As we already have discussed many times, that this cuisine really have a lots of demand in India. I mean, the whatsoever brands that we have, good brands that we have not been able to cater the entire audience, right? So we still have a lots of opportunity in case if you want to go with this brand. I mean, you are absolutely welcome. Let's have a con call with Amit and Shaheen, and then we can have a discussion more on going with this brand. So yeah, so that's it for the day, everyone. Before we end this session, I would really like maybe Amit or Shaheen can take some time and can share your thoughts, as a closing remark for the investors.
Shine, go ahead.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time and your interest. The questions were very interesting. Would just like to pick this up. If you have any questions, you can always forward that to Deepak and Bharat. Thank you so much. It's been a very interesting session, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you so much. I would really like to appreciate Amit and Shaheen for coming here on the show and talking about the brands and the cuisine that you want to bring from your country to India now, to you again, your country. Anyways, so we have, thank you so much, Deepak and Ipshita for helping me driving this webinar, right? And a special thanks to all the audience who joined this and being a part of this webinar for almost like 1 hour. So that's it for the day, everyone. Tomorrow, once again, we will come up with a new brand and we'll explore the another business opportunity. Till then, take care and have a nice day ahead. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you, Bharat.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Shita.
Bharat.
Thank you, everybody
Thank you,
who came
Deepak.
in and
Bye.
listened
Thank
to
you,
us.
Ipshita.
Looking